Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cousin DIY Studio. I'm Christine, and I'm going to be your Sparkle teacher for the day. Again, welcome back if you've taken a class with us before. If this is your first time, we're so excited to have you back. We are going to be making this cool little boho kind of inspired bandana necklace. These are super fun if you go to like country concerts or even just to wear as like a statement necklace, which is usually what I do. They're fun for festival season. They're just all around really a cool accessory piece to have in your repertoire. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to go over your materials first. So first thing you're going to need is your bandana. You can choose any color you want. We just kind of went with black because it is a neutral, goes with denim, goes with leopard print, my favorite, just really kind of goes with anything. And then you're going to want to have a silver curb chain and a gold curb chain for this project. Again, it doesn't have to be these specific chains. If you kind of want to use something like a rhinestone cup chain or maybe like a paper clip chain, you can do that and it's gonna give it a totally different look. And the size of this actual curb chain is a 2.5 millimeter and a 2 millimeter. So the next thing you're going to need are your jump rings. So you're going to want some silver jump rings. These are 6 millimeter in size, and then some gold jump rings, again, 6 millimeter in size. And those are just going to match up with your 2 chain colors. And then we went ahead and picked up one of the 20-piece Charmology charm packs. I believe in the one you registered for, there is a star charm pack, but today we're going to use this cross charm pack. So any charm pack will do. You just kind of make it your own. There are some great ones at Michael's that you can use. And then last but not least, you're going to need 3 packs of this platinum mix. And it is item 682754. And again, it is called platinum, and it's SS12, SS16, and SS20 sizes. And we used 3 packs for this project. Again, you don't have to use as many. You can use more if you want to. It's totally up to you. Then we used 1 pack of this 3 millimeter Scarlet mix. It's a little square flatback. And this is item 682758. 1 pack of those. And then 1 pack of these 5 millimeter star flatbacks. It's a crystal and crystal AB mix. And this is 682736. You will also need your glue pen. This is a great glue pen. It dries super clear. If you happen to put too much on, like I do sometimes, no worries, you can just kind of wipe it off, but it will dry completely clear. Then you're going to need your crystal jewel setter tool. These are a great tool to have, especially if you're working with a lot of crystal flatbacks. Just makes it so much easier than trying to use your hands or a pair of tweezers. So I would highly recommend you getting this tool as well as the glue for these types of projects. All right, so first thing we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut our lengths of chain. Now, when you registered for the class, we had said to pre-cut these. So I'm not going to go and cut all of them, but I will show you exactly how we cut them. So you're going to take your ruler, and I usually just put it right in front of me, and I start by laying out my chain, and I do 3 inches. All right, so there's my 3. I'm going to take my wire cutter pliers, and I'm just going to cut that right at the 3-inch mark. And then, so I just keep doing this until I get 18 lengths of this 3-inch chain here. I don't know if you guys can see that on the background, but here you go. So yeah, you're going to cut 18 of the silver, and then you're going to cut 18 of the gold. And again, you're just going to lay it out on your ruler. All right, there's my 3-inch mark. And I'm just going to use my pliers and cut that little length off. Okay. And again, 18 pieces of the silver, 18 pieces of the gold.
Fred, I wanted to know, can you please put a light colored material on the desk?
Yes. Let's try this here. All right, we'll see if is that better? Oh, yes. Okay, awesome. All right, yeah, please feel free. If you're having trouble seeing it, just let me know. We will be happy to try and fix that for you. Okay, so after you've cut your 18 pieces of the gold and 18 pieces of the silver, we're going to take our bandana and we're going to mark off with a pin where we're going to attach our chains. So you're going to take your bandana, and it is helpful if you pre-wash this first before doing this. It just makes it a little easier to work with. You know, fabric is kind of stiff when you don't wash it first. So if you do wash it, it will just lay a little bit better. All right, so we're going to unfold this. All right, so here is my bandana unfolded. And the underside of the bandana is what you want facing out. So here's my tag, right, of the bandana. You're going to take that corner where the tag is, and you're just going to fold that to the other side, and it's going to make a point. All right. And so that's what you're going to use for your necklace. And I like to kind of have it come over just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just folding it just a little bit over so that this kind of gets hidden. All right, so now we can start marking where our chain is going to go and our charms. So how I did mine is I started off by just going 1/4 of an inch up, which you guys can't see that, can you? There we go. All right, so here is my ruler. Here is, I'm just going to start marking 1/4 of an inch, 21 spots. So I'm going to take, I'm using like a metallic type marker, but any kind of crayon or a pen will work just the same. Just make sure it's not, you know, a black pen, because that might be a little hard to see. So I'm just going to mark above the hemline every 1/4 of an inch. And you're going to do this for 21 little spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to hold it closer to the camera. So I've marked out every 1/4 of an inch, 21 spots. And that is where we're going to make our holes to attach our chains. Okay, so now I'm going to do that on the other side here. And I'm going to go up 1/4 of an inch and start here. And we're going to do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Now, you don't have to do this with a ruler. You could probably just eyeball it, and it's going to look just as good. But for the sake of time, I'm going to use that as kind of like my guideline. So now, once you have all of your chain cut, you're going to start. You're going to need your sharp tool now. Is everything okay?
This is the camera keeps freezing up, so she can't see what you're doing.
Oh.
It doesn't look like it on my end, so I'm not sure if it's for bandwidth maybe.
Okay. So we're going to try again. I'll try and move a little slower, perhaps. Maybe that will help with the freezing up motion. But you're going to take your pointy tool. You can use an awl, a bead reamer. This is my vinyl weeding tool that I like to use. So this is what I will be using. But you're just going to take this, and where your spots are, you're going to start making your holes. So I'm going to start down here, and I just take my bandana and my little pointy tool, and I just kind of press through the material right where I made my little line. And then you will see, I don't know if you can see that, but it makes a little tiny hole. So let's go ahead and we will do that all the way up. And just be careful you don't poke your finger, because I have done that and it is not fun.
Break out the thimble.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just do one more to show you. So now I have a couple of holes punched. So we can start attaching our chain and our charms. So I have both my gold chain here in this little container, and I have my silver in here, and I have my charms here in this container, and then I have some of my jump rings that I've kind of pre-opened up already. Just for the sake of time, you don't have to do that at all. But again, we're just on a little bit of a time limit, so I want to make sure that we can get all the way through if possible. Okay, so you're going to take your jewelry pliers. I have mine here, and I'm just going to start with a silver first. Oh no, I take that back. I'm going to start with a charm first. So I'm going to do a gold charm first. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up using my tools. And then once you have that, you're just going to take that jump ring and slide it right through that first little hole that you've made. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just close that jump ring right on up. All right. And we have our first little charm attached.
It's so cute.
So now the pattern that I used, which again, you don't have to follow this pattern at all, was we did we did a charm and then a silver chain and a gold chain. And then so here we have a charm, silver chain, a gold chain, and then another charm. So you're going to do a charm, 2 chains, a charm, 2 chains, a charm, 2 chains, all the way up until you get all of your markings covered. Again, that's just what we did. You do not have to follow that. If you want to do a different pattern, you go right ahead. It's yours. All right, so now I'm going to take one length of my silver chain. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my jump ring. And I'm just going to take my jump ring and slide it through the last loop in this chain here. See if you can see that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that and put this right through my bandana hole that I made. So my jump ring is open. I'm going to slide this piece of chain right next to the hole where I put my charm on. And then you just go ahead and close that jump ring. And so now we have one charm and we have one piece of chain on. All right, and now I'm going to add a piece of gold chain to this. So I'm going to take a piece of my gold chain and you're just going to do the same exact step. So this is the part that's kind of the most time consuming, is just attaching all of your chain fringe to your bandana. So again, I have my open jump ring here. I'm just going to feed it through the top link on that chain. And then I'm going to add it to the next little hole right here in my bandana. And then go ahead and close that jump ring. All right, and I'll show you again. So here we now have a charm and then two little pieces of chain. And so now we're going to add our next charm. And I've been alternating between the silver and the gold. So since we started with a gold charm, I'm going to go ahead and add a silver charm next. So we're going to go ahead and open this jump ring on this charm. And take my other pliers. So now we have it opened. And I'm going to slide that right on through, right next to that last chain that I put on. And go ahead and close that back on up. So as you can see now, we have a gold cross, a chain, and then a silver cross, or whatever charm you decided to use. I think the original one had the star Charmology charm pack on it. So you can see we're starting to make a little bit of progress. So we're going to do one more round of adding some chain. So, okay, so I did a silver chain first. So now I'm going to go ahead and add another silver chain next to my charm that I just added. So I'm going to take my jump ring. I'm going to add thread it through the top link of the chain and then add that to the bandana. So if you've never made jewelry before, this is kind of a good intro into it, because opening and closing jump rings is a basic jewelry making technique that you would need to learn to know to make any kind of jewelry, really. So this is a good beginning intro into that. So all right, so now I'm going to add my next gold chain in the next hole. Get my jump ring here. I have it opened. And then again, you're just going to thread the top of the link of the chain through that jump ring. And then we're going to attach that to our bandana. Everyone see that? All right, so yeah, it's starting to look really good. We're starting to see like a little bit of a fringe going on. All right, so I did a gold charm, a silver charm. So now I'm going to do another gold charm next. So we're going to go ahead and just open that up. And we're going to add that right next to.
Jenny wanted to say, I was thinking the same thing. Smart way to open and close jump rings with 2 tools. Thank you for great information.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jenny.
Can you get those tools at Michael's too?
Oh, yes, yes. These are all at Michael's. They have some great tool sets. You can buy a whole pack, I believe, if you're just starting out, which is a great value. And then here you can see we have, again, some more progress. So we have our charms and then our chain fringe. So yeah, it's looking super, super cute. And then I'm just going to kind of show you the one side that I have finished on another piece. So I don't know if you can see this, but you can see that it's really filling out now and it looks really, really cool on. Can everybody see? So this is one full side that's done. We would still need to do this other side here, but before we move on to crystals, I do want to show you, there's on the point here, we are going to attach 4 links of those chains, 4 of the silver and 4 of the gold. And we're going to put those on a jump ring and we're going to attach it right here at the point. So it makes kind of like a tassel almost. So I'm going to put this down and then I will show you that part. So we're going to take 4 of the silver links. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then 4 of our gold links. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Regina says the chains you are using seem shorter than the sample picture that is on michaels.com.
No, it is actually all the same length. It's probably maybe just the angle the photo was taken, but they are 3 inches in length. Okay, so now that I have my 8 pieces of chain, I'm going to attach them to a jump ring. It can be silver or gold, whatever your preference is. So you're just going to hold your open jump ring and I just alternate adding in the chain link. So I'm going to start with silver first and I'm going to thread that through just like I did before. Then I'm going to take one of my gold, thread that through. And then I'm going to do a silver. So you're just kind of alternating with these 8 pieces. Another gold. Another silver. Gold. One more silver.
That's so pretty. I may make a necklace like that now.
Yeah, it makes a great tassel, I tell you. All right, so now we have all of our chain lengths on our one little jump ring. So we're going to make one last hole at the point. So this is the point here, and I'm just going to make a hole just like I did before. Just going to poke that right on through. And then you're going to use your pliers to thread that jump ring through your hole that you just made. And just go ahead and close that off. And then you will have a really full kind of tassel here at the bottom of your bandana. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to doing the crystals at this point. But to do the other side of your fringe, you're just going to do the exact same steps, and you're going to do it on the opposite side of your bandana. That way you'll kind of have a mirrored image of what you have on one side. But for the sake of time, we're going to kind of move on into the crystal part, which I think is the fun part. I love anything that sparkles. So here are, again, the 3 crystal packs that we used. We used 3 packs of this here, the platinum mix, 1 pack of the Scarlet Flatback square mix, and then 1 pack of the 5mm star flatback packs. You're going to need your glue pen here, which comes with these very handy triangle trays that you can then dump your crystals into. So you can see, and they work great because one thing to know when you're working with flatbacks, it goes a lot faster if your flatbacks are flipped to the correct side. So this tray makes it kind of easy. You just kind of shake it and it kind of helps flip those crystals over for you, which is a nice little thing to have when you are working with flatbacks. All right, so I'm going to put all of my flatbacks in front of me here so that I can start to get to work. So when you're doing the crystals, I just kind of followed the beautiful Paisley pattern that is in the bandana already, and just kind of add to that.
Maribel wanted to know if she can use Hotfix stones instead.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, the platinum mix is a Hotfix mix. So yeah, if you have a Hotfix tool and Hotfix crystals, you can totally use the Hotfix tool with the crystals on this. I just prefer to use glue. So that's really the only reason that I'm not using the Hotfix, but yes, absolutely 100% you can do that. Okay, so make sure you have your little handy dandy crystal picker upper tool ready. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by putting some crystals on the edge here of my bandana. So kind of on this edge and then on this edge, I'm going to use a few of the crystals from my platinum mix. So I'm going to start directly at the point, and then I'm going to move up probably about every inch and do, let's say, 3 dots for now. So I'm going to do, can everybody see? Okay, I'm going to do 1 dot directly here, and then I'm going to do one about an inch up, and then another one about an inch up. Okay. Take your crystal picker upper tool, and I'm going to use probably the smaller of the crystals in the platinum mix, which is the SS12. So you're just going to take your crystal picker upper, and you can see how easy it just picks it up. So it's a little blurry, isn't it? There's actually a crystal here on the tip of this. So I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to place it directly on top of where I made my little glue dot. And again, this dries so clear. So don't worry if you see glue around the edges now, it's not going to be like that when it dries. It will dry completely clear. So again, I'm going to use another SS12 and I'm going to put it on my second glue dot and then a third SS12 on my third glue dot. So there we go. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we're basically going to mirror what we do on one side, we're going to do to the other side. So we're going to go up about an inch, place our glue dot, and then 1 more inch, place a glue dot. And again, we're going to use our SS12 crystals. So just give it a good shake. Okay, and then we're gonna place that there. And the good thing about this tool is you can use the opposite end to kind of help you if it kind of doesn't go where you want it to go. You can use the other end of that crystal to kind of put it in place and get a little pressure on the top so that it sticks. And let's see, do I have another one in there? Yes, I do. All right. So now we've got our first little crystals on there, and I'm gonna just keep working my way up the bandana. So our next crystal is gonna go directly above that.
These crystals are so pretty.
They are. So the crystals, I don't know if everybody knows, but the crystals used in Crystal Radiance assortments that customers know as Austrian crystals are among the most well-known and mass-produced on the market for over 125 years. They're just absolutely stunning. The Austrian crystals come from the most prominent crystal manufacturers in the world, and they are used by everyone from beginner jewelry makers, DIYers, to iconic designers. So like these crystals are, we're using them here, but the cool thing about it is like they're being used in like Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent and all these famous designers, but yet we can do the same thing, you know, we have access to those. So which is something that I really love.
Me too.
Okay, so now I'm going to use one of my larger, darker crystals. This is kind of a silvery crystal, and I'm going to place it right where I made my little dot, which is right above my center point here. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing in between these 2 crystals and these 2 crystals. And I'm going to, again, use a larger SS20 crystal to go in those spots. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know, because putting the crystals on is, it's always the most fun part for me, but it is also time consuming. But again, there's no particular pattern. Just use the bandana as kind of a guideline for where you want to put your crystals. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go up about another inch and start making, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots all the way up. And you're gonna spread those out about an inch apart from each other. And I'm just going to be eyeballing this. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, and then I'm going to be using the SS16 size from the Platinum Mix. So let's see, there's 1. 2. 3. Let's go. 4. And then 5. 6. And lucky number 7. Okay, so can everybody see? We've just kind of started going up here, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side here, which I'm going to open up some more crystals so that I have these ready to go for you all.
If anyone's following along with us, please share your projects afterwards too.
Yes, please do. That is probably my most favorite part, is seeing the things that people make after. It's so cool to see, because I feel like everybody has such a different perspective. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make 7 little spots going up this side. We're going to spread them out about 1 inch apart. So let's get started. Let's see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then, whoops, I just spilled all my crystals.
What's great about that glue, it's probably already dried too.
Yeah, it's very forgiving, which is great when you're a messy crafter like myself.
Those are the best crafters.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so we're gonna start by doing some more SS16. So we have 1, there's 2, there's 3, and let's see. Keep grabbing all the bigger ones. Go 6. And number 7. All right, so now that we have kind of our outline there, we can kind of start making our way up. So we're going to place an SS20 right here on this dot. And then right above that, we're going to do one of our star flatbacks. So we're going to put 2 little dabs of glue. So 1 here, 1 here. And then we're going to put an SS20 in the point. And then right above that, we're going to use one of our star flatbacks, and we're going to put that right above it. All right. Wondering if I should move this. All right. So now we're going to put a couple of crystals kind of scattered around this area here. So I'm going to use this point as a guide. So I'm going to do a dab of glue here, and then a dab here, and then on the other side of that crystal. And we're going to use an SS20 crystal here. And then we're going to use 2 of our square flatback crystals on either side of that. So let's get our SS20 crystal here. All right, so we're just going to put that right there. Okay, and then we will use our crystal squares, and we'll put those right next to that. Okay. And then on this side of our little paisley here, we'll do a dab of glue here, as well as on the other side, and then we'll add another SS20 to either side of those little paisleys. So again, I'm just using the bandana as kind of a guide. And then that way, you don't need, you know, a template or anything. You just kind of use the beautiful pattern of the bandana. Okay. And then up above this little small paisley here, we're going to do another dab of glue and the same on this side. And then we're going to put our star flatbacks on either side of those. Okay.
How many projects do you think you can get out of that glue pen?
Oh, you would be surprised how long it lasts. If you keep it covered, like if you keep the top on it and it doesn't get clogged up, you can definitely use it for multiple projects. However, the key is to making sure that it gets closed after you use it, because this does get clogged. But it's an easy fix. If it does get clogged, you can just take like a needle. I think they're called satin needles. They're the very kind of thin ones, and you just stick it right through the cap. And usually that helps unclog it. But yes, you can use these for multiple projects. I've used it on shoes. It works great. I've used it on clothing. I use it on pretty much everything, plastic, wood, and it holds on pretty much everything. All right, so then the next one we are going to place is we're going to use an SS16 kind of right on this side of this big paisley here, and then the same thing on the other side. So the SS16 is that middle size in the platinum pack. One thing I did not know when I was, doing some research for this project is while they have existed in one way or another internationally for hundreds of years, in the US, bandanas came about during the struggle for independence, which is kind of funny since we're kind of in the month of July. But despite a ban on textile printing by the British in 1775, Martha Washington actually commissioned a Philadelphia printer, and he basically defied the ban and created this piece, which would eventually be reproduced as the nation's basically first souvenir bandana, and thus an icon was born. So there's a little bit of history for that for everyone. Okay, so now we're going to add another spot of glue here in our corner, and then on either side of this little paisley here. And you can mix it up. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but feel free to make it your own. And if you don't want to use the crystals we've used, you can select any other crystals you'd like. It just makes it a really cool statement.
Chloe has a good tip. She wrote, I found that a head pin or an eye pin also works well for unclogging the tip of the glue pen.
Yes, that is actually wonderful. Yes, and you can get those in the jewelry making section at Michael's. They do work just as great. Thank you, Chloe. All right, so now I'm going to put a little bit of glue in my little flower here.
I like to wear bandanas in my hair. I think this would be nice in my hair too.
Totally. I think that'd be super cute in your hair. All right, so I'm just going to place a little SS12 in that little flower there. So as you can see, we're kind of making our way up. And again, I'm just using the bandana's print as kind of my guide. So that's all you really need to do. So I'm gonna have this invisible line. So it's kind of going up here. So I'm gonna use that basically as my guide. So I'm gonna scoot this down a little bit so you can see. And then I'm just going to start kind of putting some dabs of glue in a straight line, kind of going upwards. There we go. All right. And then now we can go ahead and put some crystals on there. I used basically, I'm still using the platinum pack for the most part. The stars and then the squares are kind of just used as more of an accent. But again, you can use them however you feel you'd like to. All right. And then I'm just going to start placing my crystals into my little dabs of glue that I've made. Where is everybody watching from? I always love to know. And have you joined us before for a class?
Texas.
Ooh, all right. I have 2 aunts that live in Texas.
We have 2 Texas.
Oh, welcome. Thanks for coming. All right, so now I have those crystals glued on. So I'm gonna kind of work my way out to the sides now. We'll start on one side and then we'll move to the other side. So I'm going to do 2 little dabs on either side of my straight line here that I did. And then I'm going to go up and do another 2 dabs of glue.
We've got a couple Californias.
Oh,
some
nice.
Florida, Chicago, Virginia, Nevada, Arizona,
Oh, wow. That's great.
Minnesota.
That's awesome.
We have a couple first timers and a couple of multiples.
Nice. Well, welcome back, the people who have been here before, and welcome for the first time for all the newbies. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to talk with you and show you how to do this cool little fun project. And hopefully, please, you will tag us if you post your projects on social media. Please tag it with the hashtag Make It With Michaels, hashtag Create With Cousin, and hashtag Cousin DIY. This way we can see the projects you made. I love seeing them. So please let us know so we can look them up. All right, so now I'm going to do 2 more little dabs here next to the star. I'm going to put some glue in my little flowers here.
I think those are my favorite, the little crystals on the flowers.
It does seem like it was meant for a crystal.
It totally was.
Okay. We just, oh, go ahead.
I was just thinking, I totally want to make a pink one for the Barbie premiere.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I was just thinking, I'm like, that's gonna happen.
It absolutely has to happen. Dang, I wish I had thought of that. That would have been a good idea. We're in the Tampa Bay area, and we just had Luke Combs come into concert, and I gotta tell you, the amount of people I saw wearing these cute little fringe bandana necklaces, it was great. I just love seeing it. So again, they're just kind of a fun thing to wear for the summer styling. Jeans and a cute t-shirt, you could dress it up, you could dress it down. And then I'm going to use 2 little stars on the outside of this little center paisley here. And then kind of spreading out a little bit, I'm going to add some red in here from my Scarlet Flatback mix. And then I used these little And then I'm going to use another little red square on this side. And then my flowers, just going to add some crystal in those. So everyone that has made a project with us before, do you love using these crystal radiance crystals? I mean, they're just so sparkly when the light hits them. It's insane. These Austrian crystals, you know, they've basically revolutionized the world of crystal. It's known for its, you know, exquisite craftsmanship and unparalleled beauty. I mean, these are just really the best of the best that you can find in the market. So as you can see, look, it's kind of turning into this cool little piece. I love it. And then we'll just keep working our way up. So we only have a little less than, you know, 10 minutes. Does anyone have any questions that I can help answer before we have to jump off? While you do that, I'm just going to keep going up this line here that I started.
Oh, and while you're doing that, I also wanted to mention for everyone in this class, our next class will be on Wednesday, August 23rd. And it's going to be a demonstration of using our Precision Comfort and other cousin DIY tools that are sold at Michael's. So I hope to see you there.
Yes, if you are a beginner jewelry maker, even if you're an intermediate jewelry maker, it's always nice to kind of go over how the tools work, because if you know how to use your tools, you're going to have a better experience, you know, with anything you make, you know, and that goes for anything.
And we have two classes, that Wednesday and the Friday after, where you're going to be making those awesome back to school earrings.
Oh, yes, I did forget about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Just hoping everybody signs up.
Yes, we're going to be making some really, really cute back to school like pencil earrings with crystal. They're kind of like a statement earring, but they look like a pencil with like rainbow crystals. They're so cute. So if you are a teacher, if you know a teacher, if you just want to make them for yourself, for your kid's first day of school, because that's probably what I'm going to do. You should totally join the class because it's going to be really, really fun to do. And we're just going to be using foam sheets that you can buy in the kids department. And then also some earring findings from the jewelry department. So really, really simple, really easy, but super fun, makes a big statement. So yeah, we're just kind of adding crystals now wherever you want. Like I said, there was no specific pattern. I'm just kind of using the guidance of the pattern in the bandana. And like Maggie said, I love adding the crystals to the insides of the flowers. I think it's so cute. I feel like it was definitely meant to have a crystal in it. Mm-hmm. And just remember, whatever you do on one side, you want to mimic it on the other side, just so that your piece looks balanced. But again, it is your piece, so you can do whatever you like, really. And then if you have any feedback for us or have any projects you would like us to try and create for you in the next couple weeks, please send us an email or write the feedback on the link when it's posted on YouTube. We love feedback. If there's something that, you know, we can help show you how to make that you've been really wanting to learn, let us know. And we will do our best to get that project made for you. Well, I want to thank everybody so much for joining us today. I really hope that you have enjoyed making this fun little bandana necklace with me. I'm going to move this out of the way so we can put our finished piece on. So thank you guys again so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you had fun today. And we hope to see you again next time, and stay focused and sparkle on. Bye.